Hi everyone, it's Joy here, and I'm super excited to share the new gel press kit. Now, I was pretty nervous when I used this because I had never done it before, but I had so much fun. It was such a blast, and I wanted to keep making these gel press prints. Now, everything that I used is here. This is the Honeycomb Stencil, the Diagonal Diamonds background, the gel press paper, this is what's going to be in your kit, the silver hinge tin that holds your gel press, now for the stamps, I'm using On the Block Happy and the coordinating die, the Oh My Word Hello, the Building Blocks Happy Additions, the Hot Spots stencil, the 3/4 inch stripe stencil, the Bokeh stencil, and then in your kit you get the brayer. This is the rubber speedball brayer. Then you get some acrylic paint. This is yellow, magenta, blue, pearl metallic, and titanium white. And then some hand sanitizer, which helps clean your gel press. Oreo ink, VersaMark ink. I'm using white and gold embossing powder. My powder tool, gold drip drops, and the white rhinestones, foam squares, and sugar cube cardstock. Now I have my gel press on my grid paper here, and I'm starting with the pearl metallic, and then I'm coming in with the blue, and I'm just adding a little bit of paint and then the magenta. So I'm just adding little dots of paint to this, and then I'm going to come in with my brayer and just kind of spread this around. I didn't blend my colors a ton, but you really could. But I really liked that you could see the white and the blue and the magenta. This is the gel press paper, and it's really thin, but it's perfect for this. And look at that fun print when you peel this back. I'm going to set that aside to dry. I'm going to lift up my stencil and then come in with another stencil. This is the Hot Spots stencil with another clean piece of paper, and just press that down. You can see I'm just rubbing really good because I want that paint to stick to my background. So I lifted that up. Now I'm going to lift up this stencil, come in with another sheet of cardstock, or not cardstock, gel press paper, rub that again, and then lift that one more time. And that just gives you, off of just that one set of colors, 3 prints. Okay, I'm coming in with the white and the yellow, and I'm just going to, and the pearl metallic, and then I'm just going to blend this again. And in between, I did wash my stencils. I did clean this gel press plate with the hand sanitizer, and I did rub off the ink on my brayer onto a piece of paper. This is the Bokeh stencil, one of them, and I'm going to come in with that that paper that I already inked up prior to, and we're going to start layering. This acrylic paint does dry really, really fast in between, so I really didn't have to wait for any time at all to let this dry. Just by the time I was done with my last one, I was ready to go on my first one. I really liked how that print turned out. Again, I cleaned in between, coming in and adding some more colors. And if you get too much paint, which I had a lot of paint here, you can just roll it and then roll it off onto some scratch paper. I'm coming in with a 3/4 inch stripe stencil and just laying that down again, just layering all of my papers that I've already printed. This is not in my wheelhouse at all. I literally have no idea what I'm doing, but at the same time, I don't think you can mess it up, if that makes sense. And I was having a ton of fun. If I had had more time, I would have done way more backgrounds. So I just switched out stencils and papers, backgrounds, and then just pressed it down really good with my hand and lifting it up. And I think that background turned out really, really nice. But this was a lot of fun. You can't do this wrong. Again, I don't think I would have ever searched this out to try it, but I'm so glad I did. I'm definitely going to do this again because it is a ton of fun. There's no real rhyme or reason. There's no rules to this. And even though when I look at mine, I feel like mine are very rule-based, the way I was thinking about things. But if you look at other people's gel prints, I think people get really kind of wild and crazy, which is a lot of fun, which I was trying to do on this background here. I was trying not to be so legalistic, if that makes sense, and just really having a lot of fun. And I loved how this background turned out. So I'm just going to I had so much paint left on here that I thought I would just roll it out one more time instead of cleaning it first. I turned that stripe stencil the other way and then coming back in. And I like that. It kind of gave it a plaid look in a way. So it just is a lot of fun. Here's a clean piece that I just brought back in onto this background. And I think that turned out really, really pretty too. So now I've got this great diagonal diamonds background that I'm putting in my MISTI, and now I have these prints. Now at this point you do need to make sure everything is dry because I am stamping on top. I'm coming in with the Oreo ink and stamping this image to really, I'm trying to get a pretty decent image, and then I realized, okay, well, you don't have to do that. It's okay if it's missing spots and areas because that's the whole point of this gel press look. So I'm doing these two backgrounds with the black ink. The next two backgrounds, I'm going to do one of them with some gold embossing powder and then the other one with white embossing powder. So here's the gold embossing. I stamped it with and inked it up with VersaMark ink. And I really made sure my heat tool was nice and hot. That way it would not warp the paper, and that paper took to it just fine. So I had my fingers crossed because I didn't want to have to start over on these backgrounds, but it worked out great. So here is the white embossing background. And once that's all nice and melted, I am going to trim these down to fit my backgrounds. Now I have the stamps, the sentiments that I'm going to use. I'm using On the Block Happy and the Oh My Word Hello. And I wanted to have big sentiments because this is all about the background. So I wanted my sentiments to be large so it can kind of help fill up some of the space, but it's not taking away from the background. So the first two I stamped in black ink, and these two I'm going to do some gold heat embossing. And then I will be using the coordinating dies to cut these out. This is just on some sugar cube cardstock, and I'm going to heat that until it's nice and melted. Now here's the coordinating dies. I'm going to tape these down with some low tack tape and run these through my die cut machine. And then we can start stamping the other sentiments. So I've got 4 cards, and I have the sentiments that says sending good vibes, birthday, you make me so, and you're amazing. And then I will pair those up with the hello and happy. Here is the Building Blocks Happy Additions. This does have a coordinating die that you can use to cut it out. I did not have that, so I just trimmed it out with my paper trimmer. I trimmed down all of these backgrounds and adhered them to sugar cube card bases. And now I'm adding some foam squares behind all of the large word sentiments. So every last one of these cards, those sentiments will be popped up with dimension. And then I'm just going to start placing all of the sentiments together. Some are placed at the bottom, some are in the center. And it's just kind of how the background feels. I like the gold and the black against the backgrounds. I think they really pop, and that's really, really nice. I'm going to tuck the sentiment right underneath that large sentiment. I'm going to put the birthday with some foam tape behind it on top of the word happy. Then I'm going to come in with my gold drip drops and my white rhinestones and just place those all over the cards. This is complete, and now we've got these great gel press print backgrounds. This honestly was so much fun to do and kind of freeing because there's no right or wrong, and I love adding that whole background stamp on top with just ink and heat embossing. I think that adds another fun layer of dimension to these cards. So if you've thought about trying it, you should. If you haven't thought about trying it, you definitely should. This was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find all of these products at the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com.